by respectfully, shouldn't that be done by a commission or the city council, not a mob in the middle of the night throwing it into the harbor?
People will do what they do.
It's not just tearing down statues of Columbus or of Washington, Lincoln, or Douglas. Mobs light churches on fire. They attack federal police officers with bricks, urine, feces, and pig's feet. They blind law enforcement with lasers. They burn down pawn shops with a man still inside, only discovered months after the news cameras left town. Yes, people, radical America-hating domestic terrorists to be precise, do evil things when Democrats let them. But what you're seeing play out in Portland, Seattle, Chicago, Minneapolis, New York, and other Democrat-run cities, that's just a preview of the dystopia that would be Joe Biden's America. Let's explore. Politicians are wreaking havoc in American cities by enacting far-left policies. Crime is skyrocketing. The administration of justice is politicized. Police are defunded and ordered to disengage. Law-abiding citizens suffer while Democrat leaders take the side of the lawless mob.
It's like the military invading. They don't know anybody. They become the enemy.
Do we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes, absolutely.
And this president and this attorney general seem to be doing everything they possibly can to impose Gestapo activities in local communities.
Catch that? To Democrats, it's not the mob throwing firecrackers and feces who are Nazis, but the brave law enforcement officers protecting federal property who are.
Picking up a brick and hurling it at a building is not a conversation. Taking bags of feces and urine and throwing them at police officers is not a conversation.
You've seen the green lasers that are being used out there. We have 3 officers who currently have eye injuries, and they may not recover sight in those eyes from those laser attacks.
That is what Joe Biden calls peaceful. It's not, quote, egregious to Biden. He reserves that smear for federal agents who are only in Portland to defend a federal courthouse that's been under siege for 7 weeks. They're being blinded and their home addresses doxxed. And how do Democrats reward them?
The use of stormtroopers under the guise of law and order is a tactic that is not appropriate to our country.
It is so in keeping with third world countries.
The descent into chaos, violence, Marxist uprisings, politicized justice, that's third world, all right. And that's what our cities have come to after decades of one-party, systemic Democrat rule. In Ilhan Omar's Minneapolis, leftists on the city council hire private security while they dismantle the police and leave citizens defenseless with double the homicides. Innocents are killed in Chicago weekend after weekend, and organized mobs attack police with sharpened PVC pipes. In New York City, business owners are threatened and criminals go free. Shootings are up 130%, murders up 30%, burglaries are up 118%, but arrests, they're down by 40,000 from a year ago. While New York descends into lawlessness, the district attorney lets rioters go while he pursues political witch hunts against the president. The chaos from eliminating bail for hundreds of offenses in New York, putting those who commit assault, arson, child pornography, and manslaughter back on the streets, Joe Biden just nationalized that policy in his Unity Task Force plan with socialist Bernie Sanders. The Democrats' vision is clear. No borders, no safety, no school choice, and no opportunity. Is it any wonder why Joe Biden keeps racking up endorsements from the radical left?
You mentioned defunding the police. Of course, you're an advocate of prison abolition.
It will be about choosing a candidate who can be most effectively pressured into allowing more space for the evolving anti-racist movement. We need to reconceptualize the very notion of public safety. But, I say but Biden is far more likely to take mass demands seriously.
Was Marxist Angela Davis quoting from the Biden-Bernie plan to, quote, reimagine policing? Democrats would defund the police and replace it with the thought police. Seattle's Mayor Jenny Durkin is, quote, building a just and equitable future by sending government workers to re-education camp to renounce their whiteness. Job creators who achieve the American dream are punished with a tax. And the radical leftists who took over a police precinct, well, the Democrat mayor gave them a safe space. When the comrades of Seattle's so-called CHOP autonomous zone were finally removed, only of course after 2 teenagers had been killed, what was their final plea? Quote, please remember to continue supporting the kind of revolutionary change we just created by voting for Joe Biden. America doesn't need revolutionary change. It needs a return to the rule of law. That's why President Trump launched Operation Legend, named for Legend Taliaferro, an innocent 4-year-old tragically killed by gunfire while sleeping in his bed in Kansas City earlier this year. Obama and Biden sent federal agents into their political opponents' campaign to invent crimes. President Trump, he sends federal agents into cities to help them fight crime. That's what Operation Legend is all about, lending a helping hand to these failing cities to restore public safety and bring criminals to justice. Agents from the FBI, ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshal Service, and Homeland Security are deploying to Chicago and other cities to help them fight violent crime. New York has only had 2 Republican mayors since 1946. Who served the city better, Rudy Giuliani or Bill de Blasio? Minneapolis hasn't had a Republican mayor since 1973, when Dick Erdahl was mayor for a day. Chicago hasn't had a Republican mayor since 1931. Unless you like your Democrat dystopias, maybe it's time for a change.